All right, it says I am live. So let me know if you can see and hear me and all that good stuff. We've got Dennis Buckner in the house, Ranger 10. We've got Lake Ozark guy. I'm sure more will be jumping in. Um, but yeah, look, we're waiting probably for a little delay. I think YouTube, or it has to kick over to YouTube because it's showing zeros on here, but I can see three out there, or in the chat so far. So we'll give it a couple of minutes or a second to catch up. But I hope y'all are all doing well this evening. And got a little bit of news, so we will be getting into that. And then also, with the situation that happened today, I don't know all the details. I was completely swamped today. I understand there has been an incident. I don't want to say, you know, the word. I already get enough of these demonetized already, so I don't want to say what happened today, but I think y'all know. And I don't have all the details as of yet. So, I want to do my own research, see what I can see, and then, I'll be able to go from there. So I don't want to speak out of turn. Y'all know me. If I don't have any experience with it or I don't know any facts on it, I'm not going to start spewing stuff because I just don't do that. But yes, and then Ranger was talking about Armsman holsters. He got his new Armsman holster and really likes it. Used the discount code, and I don't make anything off of that. This is strictly for y'all. He just wanted to do that for my subscribers, and you can use BJGG10 for Armsman holsters. That gets you 10% off and free shipping as my subscriber. So I thought that was really nice of him to do that. And I did get some holsters in from him. Y'all have seen the Shadow 2 holster. I'm still proving out the gun before I carry it. Y'all know how I am. I want to test it, make sure everything's good to go. So far, no problems, none at all. But just want to, keep testing it with even more ammo and more hollow points. So far, I'll give you all a rundown, but I've got about 500. I've got the book in there, but I think it's 520 rounds through it so far. And that is 115, 124, 147 FMJs, 124 HSTs, 147 HSTs, 124 SIG V Crown, because I had a bunch of that, so I'm just trying to run that through. And also some Lawman Spear 124 Gold Dot. So I've got that. I did run like 10 plus P's through it. It was 124 plus P plus, or plus P, not plus P plus P. So I ran that through it. Everything's ran fine so far. I did get, again, this holster, and I got two more holsters. So I'll do a video on that, just showing you what they are. Two of them are really cool, or the other two are really cool as well. But there's kind of some things that you can do with them that I wanted to show in the way that I have mine set up. So, hello, Trigger Bar. How are you? We have got Clyde Cumberland in the house as well. Brian Duchesne, how are you? Yes, I did see that, Brian. That was hilarious. I did see that. His own family. That's hilarious. Hello, speaking of the Armsman, he is in the house. That Trigger Bar. Yeah, well, I was just talking about you, Armsman, and showing your one of your holsters, and talking about the other two that I've received. I'm going to be doing a video on them. I just want to, and then Ranger 10 was talking about and bragging about your holster for the X10 that he ordered. He really liked it. Hello, Dirt Track. How are you? And Lynn Holt, he gave me some computer advice, sent me an email. I appreciate that, Lynn. Cheers, everyone. This is the first drink of the evening. I always want to have it with friends and family. So that's all my Yellowstone. I went ahead and cleared that bottle out tonight. So, but I did find out today I do have to go to SEMA this year in Vegas. I can't get out of it. We've got some meetings there, some evening receptions. I've got some of my customers there, so I am going to be going. So I will be at SEMA this year. It's not that it's bad, like I said, it's just, a lot of smoozing, a lot of dinners, a lot of drinks. So have to go through a liver detox afterwards, I'm sure, but I'm going to be good this year. So Let's see here. Radiant Arms has the P3 or 365 afterburner ramjet back in stock. Okay, cool. Yeah, anybody that's looking for those. I haven't shot one of those, so I really don't have any experience with that particular version. However, I do love my Glock ramjet. Love it a lot. So, yeah, Brian, we can make a party out of it. Uh, and I have done that in the past, not in the same room, but I've had people fly in and like during the day and stuff. So we'll go do some stuff. But I will be cruising SEMA, checking out other vendors and friends in the business that I know. I'll be going to their booths and checking it out. So if there's anything y'all want to see in particular, of course you've got the wheels and tires. They'll have a whole building. You've got all the new vehicles: Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Nissan, Toyota. I'll be visiting all of them and the engineers. I'll be going and talking to them, going behind the curtains to look at some prototype stuff. I already know that. And of course, Mopar and Jeep. So we'll be doing that. Of course, they've got a big stereo. There's a whole floor with stereo stuff. I mean, I love stereos. I like loud, nice music. Good tunes. But I'm not so much into the boom, boom, boom anymore. I was when I was younger, had all the tricked out stuff, amps, and you name it, I had it. Not so much anymore. I just like the clear, like Infinity, Bose, that kind of stuff. Those kind of systems, Bang & Olufsen, all the good, crisp, clear stuff. Not so much the bang, bang, bang anymore. Yeah, here we go. Armsman is saying I'm going to do a custom order soon, but I want to see how the paint job on the gun turns out, and I'll send you a picture to see if you can match it. Yeah, there you go. That's always a good thing too. And that is the great thing about Armsman. He does different patterns, stuff like that, so you can kind of get something unique. And like I said, he surprises me on mine. I usually just say, hey, the colors, you surprise me. And I was really happy with this holster. I got the silver in there. I got the orange in there, for the orange grips if I run those and stuff. So really happy with that one. The other one, y'all are probably familiar with it, but there's a little bit of difference on that. And then the other one, I think y'all will really like. He did a hell of a job on it as well. All of them are great. So Ranger says, I used to set up booths for SEMA when I lived north of Vegas and worked in Vegas as a union carpenter. Yeah, I was going to say it's all union there. I mean, hell, I was vacuuming my booth one time and a guy came up and started screaming at me. I was like, I don't know who the hell you are. Just because you're union, you need to leave my ass alone and shut up and move along in your little cart. So he and I had I had some pretty harsh words for him. In the crate, I always brought a vacuum cleaner because I was making a mess. I was drilling stuff and getting stuff everywhere. So I wanted it cleaned up and I wasn't going to wait for them to come do it. Let's see here. Brian saying, while you're in Vegas, you have to go or take a look at the Spear. Yeah, I was going to go check out the Spear. I've seen like where they do the underwater, like sea look and stuff in the space. I thought that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I want to go and check that out because I've never been to the Sphere. So, let's see here. Rodima's saying, been a good week, trying to stock up before the election. Been buying ammo steady last few months, and now grabbing a few last-minute guns. This week I got the FN45 or FN545 tactical and a Beretta 92 GTS. Sweet, man. Yeah, and I always tell everybody, don't bankrupt yourself, but definitely get ammo and mags for the guns that at least you have, whether they be AR mags, pistol mags, whatever you think you might need. If you've already got the guns, you could always use ammo and mags. There probably will creep up right before, and who knows about afterwards. But I'm sure we go through this every cycle. So yeah, Armsman saying he's got a lifetime warranty. That's awesome, man. So I am going to be going to SEMA. So if there's anything you want to see particularly, let me know. And if I can show some, I already know kind of what's coming because we've done upfits and CAD on some of the newest vehicles y'all haven't seen. So I'll probably ask the Ford guys, the Mopar guys, and the Chevy guys if I could probably, how hard our NDA is on that. If I could start, kind of tweaking some stuff or showing some stuff. If they say cool, then I'll show it. If not, you know, maybe I can let some stuff out of the bag. We did do an upfit recently. I think I told you all about the new Caterpillar truck that's coming. Um, that's pretty cool. So hopefully, they'll have that on the floor and I can check it out in person. Mag tool Gen, yeah, Or I saw that. Yeah, Gen 2 Mags 899. Yep. I say more power to them. I say do what they need to do, man. I mean, I'm telling you what. I don't think they'd be pulling that shit in Texas. I really don't. But yeah, if they want to go take care of stuff, no problem there. What's up, Pistol Pete? How are you? Cloud is saying, still hunting his first suppressor. Any difference between going with titanium versus steel 556 308? Titanium is lighter. It's a lot lighter. Um, it is. It gets hotter quicker. I'll say that. If you're wanting lightness, I would say go titanium. It's not a must. And I would definitely go 308 or your 762 caliber because it's great for 556 and you've got 762 capabilities. If you go 556, you're limited to 556. So that's just my opinion. But I've got titanium. I like it. It sounds great, but there's nothing wrong with steel either. So, and you just got to pick which one you want. There's so many different models. I'm not the suppressor guru. I only have the Trash Panda and the Dead Air Mask personally. But gosh, there's so many to choose from. Yep, they are. But I'm saying when they start going through and like trying to take over, apartments and stuff, I think there's going to be a problem. Yeah, Chicago. Yeah. What's up, Alaskan Ballistics? How are you, man? Also, we got some news last night. I'm going to be having a granddaughter. So they were able to, and I didn't know they could even do this. They're able to determine the sex now from blood test. So we're going to be having a granddaughter. So I'm really excited about that. Definitely wanted a grandson for the first one, but I am happy with a granddaughter. So I will be having a granddaughter. So that'll be fun. She'll be spoiled rotten. She will be a shooter. I already told my daughter that. I'm like, she's going to be a shooter. You know that. We're going to do well. Or, get her honed up, of course, when she gets older. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I really like my Q suppressor. I did a lot of research on it at first, when I first got it, Trash Panda, and I'm really happy I got it. I mean, they have longer ones and all of that other stuff, and the Thunder Chicken and all of them, but I'm very happy with the Trash Panda. Not one issue. Yep, be a granddaddy. Yeah, my mom and dad are super excited too. They'll be great grandparents, of course. Yeah, here's the thing though. Yeah, I mean a 9mm can, but that's the thing. I don't really run 22 through anything except the 22 can because the lead just gets in there and gets all blobbed up. So I'm a big proponent in having a 22 can, or excuse me, let me rephrase this: a 22 can that also shoots 17 HMR, 5.7, all of that to kind of keep that on its own. I don't really run a 22 through any 9mm cans personally. Like I know people that run 22 through 5.56 cans, 308 cans, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, we're gonna train her up for sure. Let's see here. Alaskan saying he took his 4-year-old out shooting for the first time a week or two ago. Man, that's awesome. Brian says my liberal friend not thinks we should have testing, registrations, and insurance requirements to own a gun. He's not a dumb guy, but he's been drinking liberal juice. Yeah. Yeah. I look at it this way. If you're a born United States citizen, period. End of sentence. You have the God given right to have what you want to have, period. End of sentence, period. I don't think you should have to go through testing. I don't think you should have to go through requirements. I don't think anything. God gave you that right to have your Second Amendment, and it should not be infringed upon, period. Yeah, 22s definitely get dirtier. Definitely get dirtier. But you know what I found is I shoot my 22 can. Of course, it's multi rated, but I shoot my 22 can. So I'll shoot a lot of 22 through it, and I can tell it's dirty. And then I shoot the 5.7 through it, and I can see like the first couple of shots, man, you can see shit just blowing out of it. So I believe my 5.56, or excuse me, my 5.7 helps blow the crud out of it. Just as if I shoot my 308, you know, like I'll shoot a bunch of 300 blackout and stuff like that, and 308, and then when I shoot 5.56 through it, it helps blow it out too. So it's not a bad thing. Yep, gun violence, exactly. Pistol Pete, AR, or the word, do not exist as well. Evil people exist. So there you go. Let's see here. Jason is saying, Big Johnson, non-gun question. What's up, Hope? You're doing well. Been looking for a job with a computer support degree, but can't find jobs. You know, any similar jobs like that? Computer support, such as IT, stuff like that. I don't know of any personally. That's not my forte. I'm just being honest with you. You know, if you have that type, you might try to get into cybersecurity. You know, with credit card fraud and stuff like that, that's a big deal. You know, that could be an option for you. I'm not the computer guru by any means, never claimed to be. But, you know, maybe like security, you know, fraudulent stuff, that could be an opportunity somewhere. You might check into that if that's something you're into. Yeah, that's fine. AB, I mean, anybody can disagree with me or agree with me. I think when you were born in the United States, you get that. So that's what I think. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, definitely a good time to get a suppressor. Matter of fact, I had a buddy that had one made by a company here in Texas. He actually got it in 4 days. He got his tax stamp back in 4 days, and I was like, holy crap, that is damn fast. Simple Green, I have done that before. I got an ultrasonic cleaner. It was a cheap one. I just got it off Amazon. It was supposed to have heat. The heater didn't work. So I returned it, but it was one of those, you know, cheap ones. But yes, I use Simple Green. I actually put it in a bag, in a Ziploc bag, and put the solution in there, and then put water in there so it was even more concentrated, and it worked really well. It just didn't heat up. I was hoping it would heat up, but whatever. Let's see here. Big J, what is the difference between a lower end AR-15 and a higher end AR-15? Say Anderson versus Daniel Defense base models. I mean, really, you know, a lot of people will say mil spec is mil spec. Usually it's features, you know, like ambidextrous safeties, ambidextrous bolt catches. Sometimes they're on higher end ones. Sometimes it's forged versus billets. You know, it's the material that's used. I've got some really cheap lowers. They're Anderson, to be honest with you, but they're higher end uppers. I believe the bolt is your main, you know, kind of the heart of the rifle. So I would always recommend a really good bolt and a really good barrel. Kind of when you're getting into lowers, it can be, you know, they can be fine either way. Sometimes with the higher end ones, you're going to get a flared mag. Well, we are not so much with the cheaper lowers. You know, good triggers I always recommend, other than mil spec. I'm just not a mil spec fan. I grew up on mil spec, shot them up forever. You know, kind of been there, done that. I do prefer an upgraded trigger. I prefer a single stage. A lot of people like a 2-stage. I have both, but I still prefer a single stage trigger. just personally. I usually like them around 3.5 pounds for an AR. That's kind of my preference. Some people want a 5 pound, but mil spec, and you can get a mil spec and you can polish it up really good. And they have some less expensive, like LaRue. They make really good triggers, and they're not that expensive. Um, but it really comes to a preference. As long as everything lines up, I mean, you know, kind of lower is a lower, but there's just some with different options. But I don't really feel that it is the heart of the rifle, so to say. I have seen some cheaper lower end lower end lowers where the mag doesn't fit just correctly. It kind of binds a little bit. Um, that's kind of my thought process. But what I do is when I get the lowers, even if I'm in a store or I've been at PSA personally, and I'm like, hey, can you pull the lowers for me? I'll buy them, but I want to check them first. So I'll actually, they'll just give me a mag and I'll stick it in there just to make sure it's going to fit properly and it's not too tight. Because sometimes with their Cerakoting, if it's colored or whatever, you can just have a little tighter fit versus some other ones, or a really loose fit. So I had checked those before I walked out of the store with them before. Let's see here. That's my opinion, though. Let me catch back up here. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Unit 4. You will run into some QC issues sometimes. Yeah, do not ever buy a polymer one. Do not buy one of those. They are dog shit and they're crap. I broke one of my buddies. I think I told you that. I think it was an Omni. First freaking time I slammed a mag in it, I broke it. So do not buy that shit. They're just asking for a problem. Also, what's up, DB? How are you, man? Bar Harbor, Maine, checking in. There you go. So I'm going to be doing the SEMA, having a granddaughter. What else? There was something else I was going to tell y'all. Oh, also, I did get a new mic. I'm going to be testing. I want to test it first, see what I think about it, see how it comes out. Trigger Bar actually helped me kind of, get some opinions on it and things like that from him because I noticed he was using it. So I'm going to be testing that out. It's got the sound canceling. I had a really bad problem with my mic on the last video. It was cutting in and out, all that other shit. So I just junked that one and bought another one. This one is a higher quality. It's more expensive. Hopefully it works better. So we'll see. Rich B, if you were getting a Q suppressor, I would highly recommend the El Camino. The El Camino does multi-calibers where their other 22 is just 22 only. I think it's 22 and 22 mag, I think. But I would get the El Camino if you're getting a Q 22 can. Ooh, Floridian is in Naples, Florida this week. That's awesome. Oh, here we go. Pistol Pete is saying, hello, son, sent me back the optic. I sent in for repair, got it back, and no note or anything they did. Just dropped it in a box and sent it back. Does it work, Pistol Pete? I'm curious. Let me know if it's working, or if they found no problem found. Yeah, I've got an update. Well, I think I talked about it a little bit. I've got a company that I sent a gun out to. I got an update. They've done everything I wanted. They've already sent it out to the specialized coating company. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say their name. And that's going to take about 5 to 6 weeks for what I want done to it. So it is going to be a little bit, but I can't wait for this one to come back. And this could be one of the best ones I've collaborated with. And it's probably going to be one of the wilder ones. And y'all know I've got some pretty wild custom guns, but I think this one could be one of the wildest if it comes out what we've talked about. I think it's going to be really cool. Says the first optic I sent Holosun did replace it. Okay, so it's a new one, I guess. Oh, Luminous Dave, how are you, man? Can you talk about the activities in Atlanta today at school? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I personally was swamped all day. I was visiting customers. I was out with a client. We were going around and seeing his customers. So I did not get to find out everything about that issue, that situation, I guess. So I want to do a little more investigating before I start talking about it. So I just don't want to speak out of turn. Y'all know I'm not just, I don't just run my mouth about nothing. So, like Ozark guy has a silencer Coast Sparrow. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Sparrow. I personally have never tried one myself, but I have heard a lot about it. So I'll be also. I wanted to ask y'all. I've got a video that I think is really cool. It's already been filmed and everything. I was thinking about releasing it Friday. Do y'all want to see it like Friday morning, or do you want to see it Friday evening, like on one of those premiere things, or do you want to just throw it out Friday morning? What do y'all want to see, or what do you like doing? Do you like doing the premiere where we talk about the video and all that stuff? Do you like the premieres better, where we're watching it all together, kind of, typing, or do you just like watching the video at your own time? I mean, you can always watch a replay, but just let me know what y'all think about that. Let's see here. Big Johnson, is it okay if I ask what your career is? I'm in manufacturing, automotive manufacturing. I guess I could say it that way. Getting a CDL, I don't think the CDLs are now what they used to be, because a lot of brokers are cutting a lot of that. But in the meantime, if you want to do something else, I mean, some of the guys make pretty good money, but if you get in with a good company that pays well and takes care of you, that could be one thing. I just don't know that much about it personally. I would check in. That would probably be a great question from Hot Pot. He has his and did that for a while, so he might be able to better assist you in that. So I haven't seen him on here yet, but if he jumps in, or if you reach out on one of his videos, he might be able to help you out with that. Rich B, man, that has been happening for a while. That has been happening for a while, man. Oh, man. Hello, Derek. How are you? I appreciate you tuning in. Always a great time when we've got some new people in here. Welcome. Glad you jumped in. Here we go. Brian is saying, if you're just getting into ARs, there is nothing wrong with a mid-level PSA. Their quality is far better than most. They have the newest and advanced machinery in all of the gun industry. I look at it this way, and I do agree with Brian. PSA, even if you have problems, they've got a lifetime warranty. They're going to take care of you. Also, they're an American company, so I definitely believe in supporting that. And I have no problems. I've got buddies who have PSAs, and that's the only rifles they have, and they work great. Now, these aren't people that are going out and shooting 5,000 rounds a year. And you can always take the PSA and you can upgrade the bolt, you can upgrade the charging handle, you can upgrade the trigger. If that's what you want to do, nothing wrong with that at all. Armsman is saying he votes afternoon premiere. Okay, cool. Oh, here we go. Ohio Gear Guy just picked up a Shadow 2 Compact last week because of your vids with the RMR HD and a Streamlight TLR7 HL. Love the gun. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I mean, I tell you, I am really glad that I got that gun. And I've had more than one or two people say, I haven't seen you this excited about a gun in a while. And I am. I'm actually excited about the gun. I'm really enjoying it. It's a great gun. I'm singing its praises. So, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Alaskan Ballistic is saying Friday evening. It'll be afternoon for me. That's right. You're in Alaska. Yeah. Ranger 10, I'll tell you what, you know, I, I, I definitely agree with you on that. That's one thing. Now, of course, I went to public school. My wife went to private school. My daughter went to private school her whole fifth grade, all the way, all the way, or excuse me, kindergarten, all the way through. Um, I mean, we have our belief system, and I'm glad it's not cheap. It's not cheap. And the bad thing is, I paid freaking tax dollars, even to public school, of course, and paid for private school. She went to good college, a non woke college, so to say. It wasn't a private college, but non woke. Um, and I'm telling you, parents have to be a part of everything. When your kid is going through this crap, you've got to be in the middle of everything. And I was. You can't just let the school systems basically raise your kids. You need to be a part of what's going on with your kids. I've said that a lot. Oh, damn, let me catch up. Got a lot of questions here. Yeah, Pistol Pete, I agree with you 1,000%. I feel bad for the Harrell family. That's awful. It sucks that he had to go through that. A lot of people are going through crazy stuff. The way that I look at it now, he gave us some great videos. A lot of people grew up with Paul Harrell, which is awesome. I feel that he's not in pain anymore. He's in a better place. I'm just going to say that. And I have my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. That's awful when anybody passes like that. It sucks. Armsman is saying he is married to his Shadow 2 compact. Yeah, I know that they're great guns. Let's see here. Rodama is saying what I like to do is get a complete upper from AR Precision and then buy the complete, or excuse me, it says complete upper precision, then buy the complete upper. My main rifle has an Aero Precision lower and a PSA Saber, pin and welded. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with buying a completed upper and a completed lower and just snapping it together on your own. Oh, here you go. Derek says, got a new pistol to add to the concealment rotation or conceal rotation. Shadow Systems CR920 XP. Since I'm here in Texas, will join my Cajunized PO1 Omega, PO7, and Glock 30. What do you think about the CR920 XP, Derek? I'm just really curious. What do you think about it? I have seen that. What do you think about releasing on a Monday so we can discuss Wednesday? Fridays are usually booked for me. Look forward to seeing whatever you release it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty open. It's been filmed. I think I'm actually pretty impressed with this video. Not saying I did anything masterful because I didn't, but I think people are going to be surprised because we've got one at one price point and one at another price point. And the price point is big, big. So I'll just go ahead and tell you. One, it's the CZ Shadow 2 versus something else. So we've got one at $1,300 and one at almost $4,000. And I put them up against each other. Yeah, Unit 4 there was. Okay, now she graduated quite a while ago from college. So and it's a Texas college. So and put it this way, it's not the Texas college that most people are thinking about it, but it's a very good college. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not suffering anymore, not dealing with that crap. Hopefully, he's up there having a good old time. Yeah, that's exactly the way I feel. They can label me whatever they want, but there's no way I wouldn't be involved in my children's affairs. I totally agree. That's how some of these kids lose their way. They either have broken homes, they have all different kinds of things. There you go. Yeah, Floridian. There's been a lot of talk about that. I'll still support them and stuff, but like I said, it's really hard to, when you're used to a person doing something a certain way and someone's, jumping in his shoes. He's got big shoes to fill, and they probably won't ever be filled. And he's probably not looking at it that way either. Keith Gregory, what's your thoughts on arming teachers? I think it should be 1,000%. I've said that from day one. Matter of fact, I have relatives that are in. I, my cousin, he is a principal at a Texas school. He has been carrying and is authorized to carry at his school and has been for many, many years. Um, and I think they all should. Matter of fact, there's multiple teachers. He is a principal, but there are multiple teachers at his school that is also armed. Some of them have chosen to be, some of them have not chosen to be, and that's cool. But I think the more the merrier, and I look at it that way. So yes, if you don't want to be, hey, that's cool. I mean, I wouldn't beat anybody up about it, but I think it's if you really looked at it as a big picture, I think a lot of them would probably choose to be, as long as they had their training and were familiar. But I think there's a lot of people, especially gun owners, that are teachers, that would probably really. I even have friends. Y'all know who the friend is. Uh, his wife even carried as a teacher. So I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to, step on him. But y'all know who he is. Lynn Holt saying it's been 30 years, picked up a Colt King Cobra 2-inch 357. Sweet trigger. Damn, that's awesome. 9-pound double action, 4-pound single action. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I would totally agree with that, Brian. I think it's actually even less than 500 rounds, way less. I've never considered my considered heavy use with the PSA mid-level rifle as a concern. My HD rifle is PSA. Yep, danger defense in the safe. Like I said, I think a lot of people, you know, I think a lot of people shoot way, way less pistols, rifles, probably even shotguns than most of us probably do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just say if you're going to defend yourself, you should go and practice with your carry gun. Don't just buy it, load it, throw it in a sock drawer, and expect it to work. And you expect to know how to work it properly. And you know, when something happens, and that's not the time to say, "Oh my gosh, this gun has recoil," or "I can't control it well." You need to put some time in behind it. I've always said that, and make sure it's going to function with the ammo you're choosing to put in it. Okay, there you go. Derek says he loves it. He said he has big paws. CR920 XP fits my hand well. That's awesome, man. I agree with that. So a lot of the micro nines are, and I know that one has a longer grip. And hell, they're like 30 minutes from me, 30, 35 minutes from me. Shadow Systems is in Plano. So that's cool. Big Jonathan, have you ever shot a monolithic AR lower like the KE Arms KP15, the pistol grip A2 stock, and lower integrated into one unit and made of fiberglass polymer? I've shot a monolithic. Was that what was it? A SIG? I've never. I'm just telling you, I am not into the fiberglass and polymer. I'm just not. That is not. I'm telling you, I would not depend on that for a life-saving rifle. I just wouldn't. I mean, you can get billet, you can get forged, you can get stamped, things like that. I just would stay away from anything polymer. Armsman is saying the CR920 XP handles very nicely, in my opinion. That comp is definitely working. Shadow Systems did an excellent job on that one. Shadow Systems is becoming the new Glock slowly but surely. I would agree with that. They're doing revolutionary things. They're changing things. They're trying to up the game. Their sight system is pretty awesome. I've played with them. I've never owned one, but I've played with them, and I'm a big believer in them. Hello, Chris from the 740. How are you doing, brother? Yeah, the 365, I think, is a tad longer in the barrel. Not much, just a little bit. But I'm not a SIG fanboy. SIG and I do not have a good record or good. We do not have a good relationship. And I'm not hating on it if you like SIG. Please don't take it that way. They hate me. Um, Trust me, when I call or when I would call, they would pull up my record and they saw the failures that I had with them. And we are not on good terms. So, nothing personal against if you like SIG. I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other. I just have personally not had good luck with SIG. That's why I only own one SIG right now, and it is the SIG P322. Yeah, Brian, I saw that. I was like, yeah, if you're watching this, I'm dead. And I'm like, wow. And then he was apologizing for passing away. And I'm just like, come on, Paul. Man, it's not your fault, dude. Good Lord took you way too soon. I look at it this way, Ranger. If someone came into the classroom and they were wanting to do harm and say they had a hammer, I feel that someone else would pick up something to try to defend themselves. Why should they not be armed? Because, and I've always said this, if a person has a hammer, I want a freaking battle axe. I want something greater than what they have. And the only true equalizer with anything is a gun. So if they have a car and they're trying to ram you, hopefully you can take that threat out before they get to you, or you can jump the hell out of the way. If someone has a bat or a knife and you have nothing, you're at their mercy. So I want the great equalizer, and that is a firearm. No, I hear you, Derek. I mean, there's not a lot of people, or there's not people, with families and kids and things like that can afford expensive guns or whatever. I always say, whatever you have, whether it's a budget gun or whatever, train with it. Make sure that you can manage it well and it works properly to defend you and your family. So, no hate here. Hello, Russell Young. How are you, sir? Any experience with Langdon guns? I have personally never owned one, but I have shot three of them now. I shot the 92 Langdon RDO model. I shot the Langdon, or I've shot what is the other one? I've shot a few of no, that one wasn't Langdon. It was the stock Beretta compact. It was KS's. I've only shot two Langdon models. The other ones were just standard Berettas. I used to own the standard Beretta 92. I mean, it was a great gun, but it really needed Langdon's touch. It was all stock. The trigger sucked. The thing about the 92s with me, I like them. They work great. Don't get me wrong. Even the Langdon models, the grips are too short for me, just with my hand size. It's just a me problem, not a you problem. If they made the grips just a little bit longer, I wouldn't pinch the meat right there every time I changed the mag. That's the problem that I have with the 92s. Just if they were a tad longer for me, that would be better. But nothing wrong with Langdon guns. I would highly recommend them. Hello, Pranic. How are you, sir? Norwood's in the house, too. Ooh. Well, Derek, you can use my code if you want. I don't make anything on it, but you can use, for the Armsman, you can use BJGG10. That saves you 10% off any of his holsters and free shipping for my subscribers. So I know that he would not mind if I said that. Yes, I have. Have you ever considered getting a Q rifle, mini fix, honey badger, etc.? Yes, I have. I don't think there's a damn thing wrong with them. I think they're actually great guns. I have shot the mini fix. It was not mine. It was a guy at Texas Gun Experience. I shot his mini fix and also shot his honey badger. I really liked them. I didn't shoot, tons of rounds through them. but he owned both of them, and he had them at the range that day. And I let him shoot one of my 2011s that he was really interested in. And then he's like, "Hey, come over here and shoot my honey badger and my my Q or my minifix." So I shot both of those, and no, they're great. So you don't understand they're more expensive, but if it's something that you really want, you know, sometimes I say if you've got a lot of guns, get rid of some of the budget guns, so to say, if you want something nicer. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I would never tell people, hey, go and splurge and, eat beans and rice to have a gun. I would never tell anybody to do that. Floridian is saying, looking for a nice mid-range 22 to plink around with. If you're looking for a pistol, I still would highly recommend the Taurus TX22. You can get the compact, the competition, or the full size. I definitely recommend the optic ready. Great guns, great trigger, reliable. Even over the 322. Not saying anything's wrong with the SIG P322. Mine runs great, but I've heard a lot of leading problems. But I've got the early one. I don't have any of the leading problems. But the Taurus, man, that Taurus runs great. And I'm not a Taurus fanboy at all. Matter of fact, that's the only Taurus I own, because back in the day, way back in the day, I had a lot of problems with the Taurus, the Beretta kind of copy versions. I had a lot of problems with those. Matter of fact, one of them took like 8 months to get fixed. Then when I got it back, it still wasn't working right. It was working good to function properly. It just wasn't up to my spec. So I sold them off and didn't buy any more. Let's see here. Paul was an icon. Yes, he was. Yeah, I prefer CZ over Beretta. Just my opinion. I would agree with that for me. Yeah, exactly. I've said that in freaking fights too. People are like, "Oh, you can't kick in this fight." I'll kick you in the face. I don't give a shit. I'm there to win. I'm not there to be your friend or pity pat with you and waste time. I will kick you in the face. And that will end the fight quickly. You get wrapped in the head with a size 14 boot. I'm not here to play. PX4, yeah. There you go, Loomis. That's awesome. I remember this quote: God made man and Samuel Colt made everyone else equal. I agree. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight, for sure. Let's see here. Lake Ozark guy is saying, I have a Langdon 92G 92X Performance. I have shot that too. I've shot the 92X Performance. It was KS's. I've shot the PX4. I shot Wilson Combat. I shot a Wilson Combat 92. That was KS's as well. It was nice. Yeah, it's kind of like some of the CZ stuff. Cajun Gunworks makes a CZ better. CZ Customs makes a CZ better. That's what Langdon does to Berettas. Nothing wrong with that. Yep, Pistol Pete's here to jog memories. He helps me a lot. Sometimes I just draw blanks. Okay, here we go. Indy Irish, good to see you, sir. Is $2,200 a good price? Takato CP Duo includes grip reduction and stippling, low pro magwell, 3 16-round flush fit magazines, Dawson Hollow Sun 509T adapter plate, Tenacor Velo 4 appendix holster, and 600 rounds. Yes, that is a good deal. Yes. Yep. You're getting the good Dawson plate, which I always recommend, not that freaking CH Precision shit. Yeah, you're getting a good plate. You're getting a good holster. The mags, that one should have came with a 20 rounder as well, a couple of 20 rounders, unless he just changed them out. The reduction in stippling and the low pro magwell, that's not cheap. Yeah, that's a good price, very good price. Depending on how the gun looks, you can check out the smiles on it, see if the barrel's all smiled out. You can look through, check your lands and grooves. I'd run a bore brush through it if you can. and run a flashlight through it, and you can look at it. I even have I have a borescope that I've ran through some used guns before to check them out, to see if they're pitted, rusted, anything like that. Um, yeah, I mean, that's a good price. I would probably buy it. I love my C2. I know a lot of people kind of don't like them. Humble Marksman doesn't like his. I love mine, but that's why everything, yes, or everything is, different for different people. But I love my C2. Rodama saying, yes, Big J, I think the TX22 is the best on the market. I would agree with that. I highly recommend that gun. I've had multiple people ask me. I've even let people shoot it, and they're like, what the hell is that? Because mine's all tricked out. I've let multiple people shoot it, and they're just like, holy shit, this thing is awesome. Because Tandem Cross makes some really great parts. Like if you like it, but you just want to make it a little bit better, highly recommend Tandem Cross. Highly recommend it. I mean, it makes it even better. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, yeah. Hello, Wendigo. How are you, man? Yeah, Armsman saying definitely a good deal. Yep, Trigger Bar saying seems like a good deal. They both have C2s as well. Yep, I know Pistol Pete. I like the Vacortons too. I like my Ruger 1020 or my 1522 or 15. What is it? 2245. My Ruger 2245. It's a freaking hammer. It is accurate. It is a great gun, but it freaking holds 10 rounds. Or mine holds 11 because I've got the Tandem Cross +1. But I'm just like, damn. If they came out with a double stack 2245, that thing would be money. And I kept, I talked to them and I'm like, dude, when are you going to come out with one? When are you going to come out with one? Oh, we don't know. We don't know. And I'm like, man, I would love a double stack. I even want a 2011 22. I think that would be a blast. I just don't know how reliable. I've seen them. They're super expensive, like $1,600 or $2,200 or something. I would buy one if I knew that they were super reliable and feed properly, but I don't know. I don't know anybody that has one that I've been able to shoot. I've only seen them, so I just don't know. Whisper Pickle. Damn. 28 days with a trust. There you go. Yeah, the FN 502 has 15 round max. My 322, the SIG, I bought the 25 rounders for it, and they work well. I did a burn down. I don't know if y'all saw it. I did a 250 round burn down on the 322. I mean, my finger was so freaking tired. I had to go to my middle finger. My finger actually just locked up because I was shooting so damn fast. They're all rapid shots. And I mean, it did great. I think I only had like 2 failures, but it really wasn't the gun. It was the freaking ammo. It's 22. It's not center fire. So I had 2 of the failures there. But, I mean, it worked great. Yeah, I would agree with Rodama. I think the FN, I love FN. Do not get me wrong. I love FN. But I think the 502 is overpriced for what it is. It's made by Umarex also. Not saying anything's wrong with it, but it just feels very cheap to me. When I held it in my hand, I was like, if I squeeze this grip, I feel like I could break it. It just felt very flimsy to me. I didn't like the hammer. It just felt kind of chintzy for the price they were asking for it. That was when it first came out. It was like $500 something. Maybe they came down. I think it was $550. So maybe they have came down. And I'm not saying it's a bad gun. I'm just saying it felt very cheap. Not that the TX22 is super high quality. I even joked around when I bought mine, and I said I think it's made out of sardine cans and recycled sardine cans and pot metal. But and I will say this. StreamYard came out with a new, y'all can't see it on y'all's end, but it came out with a new setup where you can go into your things and you can choose a blackout screen where everything's black and I can see the comments in white. And man, they just released it on StreamYard, and this is way more eye friendly. Way more eye friendly. doesn't wear out my eyes like the white screen does. So this is their blackout, and actually I really like it. So I'm gonna keep using this. And I've got FN guns, and I mean I love them. They're great. They're built. That's what I'm saying. FN overbuilds their guns, but on the 22, since they didn't make it, it was made by Humerex. I don't feel that it's overbuilt at all. But I do love my FN guns. I still own 3 or 4 of them. Yes, they do, Pistol Pete. I've shot a lot of Verkortens. Y'all haven't seen it, but I've shot the Verkorten, 2 of the Verkorten rifles. They weren't mine. I shot a Verkorten pistol. It was a tricked out, 2245. Mine's pretty tricked out. It's got the competition trigger and all that other stuff. Mine's kind of my 2245 Ruger Mark IV. It's pretty much even better than a Verkorten the way it's tricked out. I mean, it's a fast gun and it's super accurate. But I mean, you're going to pay for the Verkorten name. That's why I would just rather have the 2245 and then put the tandem cross parts on it personally, because you can do it like you want it. Ooh, there you go. Luminous Dave says, out of all the quirky, gimmicky guns and or gun accessories, what would you choose to get for shits and giggles? I get a lot of guns for shits and giggles, or I have a lot of guns for shits and giggles. For example, I have a 12.5-inch 308 POF. It is a freaking flamethrower. It's loud as shit if you don't run it suppressed, but it is fun as hell to run. Yes, you lose velocity, but will it cause some damage? Oh yeah, it will. I mean, it's a freaking hammer. That is one of my fun guns. I mean, it's Pig Slayer. I have, that's a thumper. I've got an 18-inch Lancer L30 heavy metal. It's a thumper. I've got a couple of 12 gauges that are thumpers. They're fun. 22s are always fun for shits and giggles. I mean, you can shoot them suppressed. They're super quiet. And I just love 22s. I love 22 like long rifles. I've got a collection. Y'all can't see it, but I've got a collection right here of 5 of super old 22s, pump actions, gallery guns, all that. I've got a pretty nice collection of 22 rifles that y'all have never even seen. But they are irons, so they're a little difficult for me to see with my eyes. My eyes are not perfect anymore. Yeah, they lowered the price on them, brought them with the 502s, $369. Yeah, they came way down in price. 5.7, yeah, trigger bar is exactly right. I mean, 5.7 is a freaking blast. I actually love my PSA 5.7 Rock. It is fun as hell. It is super fun. Yep, I'm with you, Pranic. I love everything overbuilt. And that's the way I always did, like race engines, race cars. Even for like motor mounts, a lot of people just use motor mounts. I use motor mounts with chains. I would have slack chains, but you get a lot of rock in a performance engine when it really hammers the pull to the drive shaft. So I used chains. Basically, I chain the block to the frame. If you build too much horsepower, it can bend your frames if you're not careful. But yeah, you can plan accordingly to that. But I love overbuilt shit, and I've built a lot of overbuilt stuff. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, the 5.7 Rock is a lot of fun. Yeah, Verkorten's very proud of their product. Yeah, the dead air mask. I mean, I have mine. The only gripe I have about my dead air mask is when you screw it on and you shoot and you try to take it off, even if the can's super tight, they should have done reverse threads, meaning like when you screw it on, it can't unscrew the same way like your can internally. It should have been done reverse threads because when I take mine off, sometimes the end cap will stick and then I'm taking the whole freaking thing apart. And I'm like, why didn't you do reverse threads for the can to hold on to the end cap? I mean, that's just kind of a no-brainer. So there's been many times where I've taken it off the rifle or off the pistol, and it literally I have to take the whole freaking thing apart, and the baffles come out in that part, and then I have to unscrew the end cap, and it's a pain in the ass, and that pisses me off a lot. That's the thing that I hate about the dead air mask. It only happens sometimes, but it pisses me off. And yes, you could put some rock set on the inside of the can, but then when you want to take it apart, you got to soak it in water to break the rock set apart. So that's where it can be a pain in the butt. But let me catch back up here. Here's what I'm saying, Brian. Brian's bringing up a valid point. His local gun store told me he sold $13,000 worth of guns in 3 months. People don't have any money. It's one of the worst economic times I've seen due to inflation, wages not increasing. Here's what I'm seeing at my gun store. I'm not seeing any budget guns. I'm seeing a lot of people buying high-end guns, such as 2011s, high-end rifles, ARs, long-distance range guns. A lot of premier high-end guns are still selling. Some of the budget guns have slowed down. That's what I'm seeing. Also, I am seeing more small, I wouldn't say subcompact or micro guns, but smaller guns, like for concealment. I'm seeing more of that being sold than some of the more full-size pistols, other than the full-size 2011s and things like that, because of, a lot of people are buying higher-end guns, not so much budget guns at Texas Gun Experience. I saw that, the Sub 2000, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I think it's cool for somebody who wants a backpack gun. 5.7 is center fire round. Does it have, the power of 5.7 and all, or 5.56? No. But could it really incapacitate someone? Hell yeah, it could. So, yep, the TS 5.7, $250. Yep. But that's what I'm seeing locally in my area. Most of your high-end guns are still selling very, very well. Let's catch back up here. Anything y'all are really looking for? I've seen some guns that they're not really piquing my interest, but I'm like, would that be fun? Nothing's jumping out at me, so to say. And I always say this: if you've got money burning a hole in your pocket and you just gotta buy something, I always try to tell people this: wait a little bit longer, save up a little bit more money, to where if you want to buy that gun, you can buy the gun, the holster, some ammo, if it's a specific caliber. Don't just jump on something because you just have money burning a hole in your pocket. Try to make the decision that you really want that gun. Not because you saw a review from me or somebody else saying it's the best thing since sliced bread, because at the end of the day, a lot of these striker fires are the same damn striker fire. You just got lipstick on it differently. If it's a double action, single action, you don't have that in your collection, I highly recommend it because it's another trigger group that you can learn. I will beat that horse till it's dead. I really, really think if you've got a lot of striker fires or a lot of striker fire and single action, you need to add a double action, single action to your arsenal, so to say. Because the trigger discipline on a double action, single action will make you a better striker fire shooter, and it will make you a better single action shooter. And I will stay on that soapbox forever. So, and now you've got the PO9 Nocturne, if you're interested in that. It's a very inexpensive, or relatively inexpensive. The trigger, the double action is really stout. Just going to let you know. But if you can master that and shoot it very well, the double action, you can pretty much shoot any gun very well, or better. So, nope, Clyde, I do not. I got rid of it. I traded it in, my Shield 45, my Shield 9mm, for the Shadow 2 Compact. I'm getting older. There's a lot of guns I don't shoot anymore. Those were not optic ready. I'm an optic guy. I think I've stated that a billion times. They were just sitting there. And I was like, you know what? I want to get something that I'm going to enjoy. So I got rid of those. I got rid of like three guns for the Shadow 2 Compact. I've got a video if you want to see the other gun. I want to get more guns that I truly, truly enjoy. And nothing was wrong with the gun. Shield 45 is a fantastic gun. I was thinking, well, would I invest the money in putting an optic on it? It probably wouldn't justify it for me. But, I did decide on the gun that I sent out to have it done. That was a gun I was never going to get rid of. I absolutely love the gun, but I wanted to make it better. So that is the one that is out getting done now. And I'm so super excited to show it whenever I get it. And see, that's what I believe in. I believe in taking something that, a gun maybe you really, really like, whether it be striker fire, single action, whatever it is, double action, single action. If you really love that gun, but you want to make it your own, whether it be an optic cut, Cerakote, whatever it might be, I would rather invest the money in the gun that that really truly functions and that you like. I would customize it to make it your own rather than going out and buying something else to satisfy your need. And that's why I do a lot of guns. I customize them and make them my own, whether it be milling or whatever it might be, because those are guns that I know that I would never get rid of and that I love. So, and I've done 2 Glocks. I'm not even a Glock guy, but I love the 2 Glocks that I have because I have made them my own. So that's what I like. I like that, putting my, idea and working with someone who can make that idea come to fruition. That's kind of what I like. That's what excites me. I get bored of just going out and buying another Polymer Wonder or, whatever. That's just not fun for me anymore. Armsman is saying people might be going through hard times financially, but man, have I witnessed a few of my local few stores filled with people shopping. Yeah, and I think it's probably gonna ramp up even more. Here in Texas, I'm seeing guns being sold left and right. Gun stores are packed, and it's hard to even walk in the gun shows. Yeah, I don't even go to gun shows anymore. Rodema, we just had the Fort Worth gun show. I didn't even go to it. Every time I've been to gun shows lately, or back in the past, you can run into some good deals. If you're looking for an antique particular gun or something like that, that's definitely the place to go. But a lot of our gun shows, as you know, they're selling purses and all these janky excuse my language, all these janky ass holsters and, that you stick all the way down your pants. And I'm just so sick of that shit. Or beef jerky. Hello, Graybeard. How are you, sir? He said the only double action, single action gun I have is a Taurus revolver. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you can shoot a double action, single action revolver, you can shoot that well. Yeah, threaded barrel. Yeah. Kel-Tec is reliability. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, sub 2000. I will say that is a good shooting gun. I haven't owned one, but I've shot them. The 9mm Glock version, they shoot well. A little more recoil than I think they should have. If it's the Glock version, you can run the big stick and stuff like that. So, and it folds. So, there's definitely some benefits to it. And you can get them at reasonable prices, or you could, for their older ones. Yeah, all the shields are that way at first. You just break them in and just keep shooting the dog crap out of them. And they will work. But yeah, they're really, really tight for a while. Yeah. Yeah, you got to slingshot them for a while. Now you can take that slide lock on a lot of the shields and you can kind of polish it and make it a lot smoother. Don't wear it off like with a stone. Just polish it, and it will break in a lot better. Let me catch back up. Oh, wow. NDR says he just got back from South Africa on a hunting safari with my oldest. Last minute, as his friend had to back out, shot my first ever animal goose buck. I'm not sure what that is. Incredible experience. 30-06 at 300 yards. There you go. 30-06 ain't nothing to joke at. That's, man, I shooting 30-06 way back in the day. That's not a crap round. I get it. Yeah. Striker fire guns, the trigger is the same. You will reach your ceiling of your accuracy, but that will be it. With double action, single action, your accuracy and shooting prowess can always improve. I agree with that. I have never been to Africa. Never been. DC is saying, what do you think of the new Prodigy with the comp? I think it's a Prodigy with a cut in the barrel. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, if I were going to buy one, that's the one I would buy. If it's squeaking out a little bit more accuracy, flatness, I'm a comp guy and a port guy. I don't think there's a thing wrong with it. I personally have no reason to have a Prodigy. I've got plenty of 2011s, but somebody in the market, that might be the gun for them. Damn. Black wildebeest and a spring buck. I know what a wildebeest is. I'm not sure of a spring buck. Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on the gun shows around here. It's just the same old shit, different day. Browning SA-22. I do not know where you can find one of those, Radama. Do not know. Browning. Graybeard saying, hit those thumbs up. I agree with Graybeard. He's got a great idea. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Hello, G23. How are you? You must have snuck in. Sorry if I missed you. I appreciate you. Yeah, gun shows. I mean, this was a while back. A buddy of mine, he had never been to a gun show, so we went to a gun show, but this was quite a while back. And he thought it was cool because he'd just never been to one, but I was just like, same old crap, different day. Yeah, Ranger saying smash it. Ranger, I hope everything's working out with your family. I know, you had a situation back a while ago, and praying for you, brother. Hope you and your family are doing well. Exactly, Armsman. Yep. More expensive than stores. Table has more junk. That's what I'm saying. If you're looking at guns that are super hard to find or like, antique or surplus, you're probably going to find it there. But other than that, I don't waste my time. And hell, by the time you spend your door price to get in, what is it, like 12 or 15 bucks to get in? You just walk around. It's same old shit. Clyde is saying, what are your take on EOTechs? I know you have the AMG Vortex. Just wondering what your thoughts are on it. I used to have an EOTech, but I sold it a long time ago. Nothing wrong with them. If you like, holographic sights, they're great. EOTechs have been around for 1,000 years. They're bulletproof. They're great optics. But with any holographic sight, the battery life sucks. You're going to see pixelation. Nothing wrong with that. You kind of look at your targets. They target focused, and you don't really notice the pixelation. But if you're staring at it, it's highly pixelated. EOTechs work. I mean, they're great optics as long as they've got good batteries in them. They're great. Even my AMG, it's a great optic. It's holographic. The battery life sucks. It's not as great. It's better than the EOTechs, but it's not fabulous. Excuse me. It is. A lot of people prefer them. I kind of, if I have to pick one, like a holographic or a red dot, I prefer the red dot. Just me. But nothing's wrong with the EOTech. They're great, except the battery life. I don't have an opinion on the CVA Cascade. I'm not sure. I don't have any experience with that. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't grind on it, Brian, because here's the thing. I know you know how to use a file. I know how to use a file. Sometimes you take off too much material. That's why I would be more prone to polishing it with like Fritz polish and like a brushing wheel versus removing metal. Once you remove the metal, you can't add it back unless you re-weld it. So I would kind of stay away from that. Rod 'em are great. There's plenty of 308s out there. I mean, pick your poison, whichever one you want. I love 308 because of the NATO round. I love it because you can always find ammo. I love it because it doesn't wear out barrels like the 6.5 Creedmoor. 6.5 Creedmoor is fabulous. Do not get me wrong. It is fabulous. And if you're shooting farther, I would highly recommend a 6.5, shooting like really far, over a 308. But I mean, man, 308s have been around forever, and you can pick your poison. There's tons of them. Yep, Big J need to pull out the smoker for a meetup. Yeah, I was actually going to smoke out this weekend. I was going to cook, but man, I was just like so freaking worn out. I did not cook out. So I was really wanting to. I still have 3 racks of ribs in the freezer. I need to cook those. I've got another tri-tip. I've got a picanha. I've got a small brisket. It's like 12 pounds. No, I'm saying it's 15 pounds. I got a 15-pound packer brisket I need to trim up. But I'm just like, man, it's like there's only, shorter weekends. This was a longer weekend for me with the holiday, but honestly, I was just worn out. Been running around a lot. And Scott, I would agree with that. Their pricing on some of them is not good. I'm sure Coda Boy probably did the 1-8. It's the primary arms, and it is their platinum. It's the P series. They are great scopes, but yeah, their platinum series are not cheap. But if you're talking about it between a Vortex AMG or a Vortex HD, they are a pretty damn good price. And they've got the good Japanese glass in them. They're super clear. Oh, if you're going 800 yards, I would get a 6.5. I would. Not saying a 308 can't get out there. I mean, I've shot my 308 650 yards before and pretty accurately, but you just get a shitload of drop. Where 6.5 is just, it's just cutting through the wind. Bolt action, you're going to have premium accuracy with either one of those calibers. I think it's going to be more accurate with a 6.5, personally. For that yardage, I would go 6.5. Yes, I've been on a few of them. I've been on the river. What is it called? Viking. I've been on some carnivals back in the day. Not knocking them, but they're not the best. The Viking was really nice. Not a lot of them. I think I've been maybe on 4 or 5. They're cool. I would just rather fly somewhere and enjoy it, honestly. Yeah, at 800 yards, you're going to get a kill with either one. I just think it's, like if you're hunting in a lot of trees, that's another thing that comes into play. If you're shooting 800 yards in a bunch of trees, I would definitely go 6.5 Creedmoor or 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm still not knowing about this. I don't know, man. How can I say this? I don't know. I just think something's shady going on here. I'm not one of those people. I'm not trying to be, but I don't know. I just think we better get out and vote. We better get out and vote. Here you go. If you're hunting at 600 yards, I'd go Magnum, like 6.5 PRC or 7 Remington for 300 C and 300 PRC. But this is where I'm saying for probably ammo compatibility that you might be able to get anywhere, 6.5 I think is more abundant in ammo if you're loading yourself. I would agree with Trigger Bar. I mean, there's other better rounds, but you know. Yeah. Ooh, wow. My first and last cruise had a toilet literally explode on me when using it. Whoa. That's bad. Yeah. Carnival, man, that's what I'm saying. Ooh. It's kind of like the Spirit Airlines of the water. Let's see. Yep. Bullets aren't going fast enough to expand at those ranges. Maybe where did it go? Maybe a lead bullet. Yeah. Well, heck, we've gone 20 minutes over. I guess I didn't realize that we're having so much fun. But we will go another 10 minutes. Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, it's like the spirit of the boat world. Yeah. Whew. Spirit Airlines is a train wreck. I've never flown Spirit in my life. I refuse to, but I have friends who have, and oh my gosh, they were telling me some horror stories. And these are friends that I trust, and I'm like, whoa, no, I'm out. I am totally out. Woo! Ooh. Yep, that's true. Walmart of cruise line, yeah. Look at here, I got to represent. Got a little lock grip section. And if you need anything from Lock Grips, I always like to rep those guys. It's BJGD10. Save you 10% off grips, pistol stands, rifle stands, whatever you want. Bore cleaner do I use? I don't go too aggressive. Bore cleaner, sometimes every once in a while I'll put CLP down it and just clean it out, with a bore snake. I'm not the, got to put a brush down it 19 times and all that. I don't do that shit. I just don't. I think that's a waste of time personally. I've got some high-end rifles and they shoot great. I'm just not that guy. I used to be the guy that would take the brush and, the rods and do all that shit. I don't care about that anymore, honestly. Lehigh Defense makes good ammo. The Extreme Defender, I haven't shot the Extreme, or have I? I haven't shot the corkscrew one. I think, is that the Extreme Defender? I haven't shot the corkscrew looking one, but I've shot the one that opens up really big. Lehigh Defense makes some really good ammo. But I don't have a ton of experience with the Extreme Defender. I think that's the corkscrew one, I think. I do not. Rodema, I don't know anything about resilient suppressors. So, like I said, y'all know I don't talk out of my butt. If I don't have any experience with it, I'll tell you. I don't. That's funny. So my last cruise consisted of Spain, Italy, and France. Then 90 days of coast of Liberia with a bunch of restless jarheads. There you go, man. I appreciate your service, sir. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Brian. I'll be the first one off this damn boat. Yeah, heck with that. And I would not want to deal with that crap either. Yeah, okay, that's the one. Yeah. I don't have any experience with that one. I know Trigger Bar has shot that. I know Trigger Bar has shot that. And I think he's shot that. I'm pretty sure he has. I haven't shot that one. I've shot the other Lehigh Defense, the one that opens up real big. And yeah, it's pretty massive. I shot that out of a 10 millimeter, out of a 45, I don't know if I've shot that in a 9mm. I have some Lehigh Defense, so I don't know which one it is, but I have shot it out of my nine. I just, I don't shoot into gel. I shot those pig heads way back in the day. Yeah, I take that back. I have used Ballistol in the past for the bore cleaner, and I mean it worked okay. I just don't like decopper them and defoul them and do all that other shit that a lot of people do. I know X Ring, he does a lot of that stuff, and I mean good on him. I just, man, I just really don't. A lot of the times, even for a lot of my barrels, I'll just run a bore snake through them 3 times. That's my deal, 3 times. I don't know why. It's just what I do. Got to run it through 3 times. And a lot of them, I don't ever put chemicals in them or in them or anything. And man, it comes out perfect. Matter of fact, Humble told me a long, long time ago. He's like, man, I still have really good accuracy on my pistols, and I don't put any cleaner in them. He just runs a snake through them or cleans them like that. And I've been doing it so far, so good. So, oh, the extreme penetrator. Yeah, I know it's for like, of course, maximum penetration. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be a good round if that's what you're looking for. Oh, there we go. We got 35 watching and 36 thumbs up. That's awesome, man. It's because of OCD. Big J, mine is odd numbers. Mine's 3. I mean, I don't know why. I do it on my rifles. I do it on my pistols. It's always 3 with the bore snake. Unless it's super, super crudted up, and then I might do 4, but I don't do 2 or 1. I always do 3 at least. It could be spick and span after 1, and I still do 3. I don't know why. Just always have. But yeah, I just don't have the patience, to do the patches. I used to way back in the day, man. I'd sit there and put patch in it, and then put the cleaner in it, and put the desolve in it, and then, all that other shit. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? I mean, this is just too crazy. And I understand for, precision guys, they might want to do that, but I'm not the precision guy. I'm just not. I mean, I like to shoot nice groups, but I just don't have time for that shit. Another reason, like what I've thought about on my process, as far as my gun collection and things like that, I want to collect things that I enjoy, that I truly, truly enjoy. Things that have been passed down to me from family members, I'll always keep those and I'll continue to pass those down. But things that I could just go out and buy tomorrow, I'm not so concerned about keeping those any longer for the most part. And trust me, I have plenty of guns. That's not an issue. I can take care of a lot of people. But if anything were to happen to me, I want to pass down guns that are going to be appreciated, or that, like, hey, my grandpa or whatever helped, create this design or whatever. Just not anything that you could just go buy off the shelf. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at a lot of my stuff now. Even with the custom stuff, I have plenty of it. So, I mean, people are good, but, when my grandkids get my collection or whatever, they're going to enjoy it. And it's going to be worth something. Not just, oh, that's a $200 gun, or that's a $150 gun now, or $100 gun. Do you have your guns insured? Of course I do. Hell yeah. What I always recommend to everybody is have all your serial numbers noted. I keep it on a piece of paper. I keep it on devices. I keep it on a spreadsheet. Here's another thing. I have extra insurance for my tools. I have extra insurance for my guns. I would recommend videoing them, saying, hey, I have this gun, this gun, this gun, this gun. Keep that somewhere separate and protected. Yeah, I mean, don't just, oh, my homeowners will cover everything. No, have extra insurance. And also say this on vehicles. A lot of people don't know this. If you have a lot of accessories, such as lift kits, wheels and tires, a lot of, winches, bumpers, all this on your trucks, get extra insurance to cover that. Because if you're ever in a collision and you crush your bumpers and your tonneaus and all these other accessories, they will only cover the cost of the truck replacement. not the other accessories. They will beat you up over it. So, but if you have accessory insurance on your vehicle, they will cover the other options. I keep receipts on every accessory I have, and some of them are mine. However, I've got the dollar amounts, so they're like receipts, but I'm not paying for them because I manufacture them, but or some of them. So I have the receipts for those because if it's ever in a collision, everything on my vehicle is covered, every accessory to the penny. Also, a lot of those you do not take a prorate or a decrease in the accessory. They will. I have made them pay me the full amount, even less depreciation, no depreciation. So that's another option. But work your insurance companies. They're going to work your ass, work their ass. Make it benefit you. That's what I'm trying to say. That's, Rodema, that's not necessarily true because they're going to shut it off after a certain time. If you have an increased or excessive amount of tools, like a big tool collection, like Snap-on toolboxes and a bunch of tools, they will minimize that and say, how do we know you didn't just have 15 ratchets? Okay, when I had my big toolboxes, that was a freaking walk in the park. My shit looked like a Snap-on truck. So that is additional insurance. So make sure you're asking for it. Yeah, insurance companies are not there to give you money. They're there to save money. So I'm telling you, work their ass. Yeah. Don't settle. Yeah, and insurance, homeowners insurance will beat your ass up. Also, if you've got expensive watches, if you've got expensive jewelry, make sure that it's separately insured. Make sure you have, they've been, what's the word? Come on, Pistol Pete, you got to help me. Make sure they've been appraised. Okay, you want the appraisal sheets on all of your jewelry, your watches, and everything. Because if something happens, then they will cover it if you have it appraised. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Pranic. Yep. And I would agree with that. Yep. Anything. I mean, you want extra insurance. That's why I add accessory insurance for all my garage tools and also my vehicles and extra insurance. Now, here's the thing also. You only have to give like a dollar amount of your guns. You do not have to tell them what each one is. You can keep that for your own records, but you can give them a roundabout number if anything were to happen. So yeah, my house burns down, all my shit's covered. Yep, you got to check their ass. And I have won against many insurance companies against collisions and theft. Yeah, you can, Rodema, you can also get additional insurance through other insurance providers. Because yeah, they can max out at 250, 500, and like 100,000. I mean, some gun collections would exceed 250 pretty easily just for the guns or tools. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate you, brother. Have a great night. I'm fixing to jump off here too. No, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Graybeard. Minimal things that's a good thing too. Yep. Lake Ozark guy, I save all my receipts with serial numbers on the receipts. Also, when you buy a gun of any firearm, you can ask this. Say, can you put the serial number on the actual receipt? A lot of them, like if it's a handwritten, they can write it on there. Or if it's manually printed, they can print the serial number on there. I always ask for that. And 99.9% of places will do that. So that way you've got a record of your purchase, and I put that in my book. Also, any customization, any extra accessories, anything I buy, they will cover the lights, they will cover the dots, they will cover the milling. Any upgrades you do to them, also keep those receipts. I've got stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of those receipts. So keep all of that as well. All right, we are going to shut this off. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Leave the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will probably put that video out Friday afternoon sometime, maybe try to do a review. I'm also going to try to shoot on Friday afternoon. I've got to do some more testing. So I will probably be at the range trying to get some of that stuff knocked out and testing out the new microphone to see how that works. Thanks again, Trigger Bar, for turning me on to that. We will test it, see how it works. I've got the blue or the whatever it's called, the sound dampening thing. I'm going to test that out, see how it works. Hopefully it works well and there's not a bunch of people in the range, hopefully. But you've got to give me a little break. I'm dealing with a public range, so I'm kind of at other people's mercy. And sometimes people bring fire breathers in there. And I'm trying to talk. I'm not going to ask people, hey, can you shut up so I can film? It's public. I'm, just another one of them. Nobody special. But I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a great night. And I will probably put that out Friday. And hopefully y'all will enjoy it. But like I said, it's a good comparison. I think it's equal both ways. And I think it'll be a great video that hopefully it'll show you a little bit of both guns, and you can make your decision of which one you like better or which one you think did better. I would appreciate any kind of input on that video. It could be a little spotty with the microphone again. Please bear with me because I did film that with the old mic, so hopefully it doesn't cut out a lot. But I think it'll be a fun video, and I think y'all will enjoy it. But appreciate y'all so much. Have a great night. Love one another. If you haven't talked to a relative in a while, please reach out to them. And again, family, we're all in this together. So I appreciate y'all so much. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Carry on.